All right. So that's there are few things just to the what is healing. So healing can be described in different ways. First is simply to remove the pain. There is some pain is there just to remove, and that's called healing. To restore healthy body, the body is there is suffering with something, some disease or something. To restore to healthy body, that is also popularly known as healing. To overcome an undesirable condition or a situation. So it may nothing to do with the health or body or pain. It can be just a situation you have to overcome. So that is also uh, be part of the healing. Then it is, let me, somebody else is joining. All right. So it can be not only body, it can be the mental also. There is maybe body is fine, but to yield mental balance, there is a lot of mental agony, anxiety, or some mental, which is mentally not in peace. To restore back to the mental balance and serenity, that is also known as healing. To restore to original purity or integrity. So original purity, you can just, for the example sake of things, you can check it like a go back to the childlike innocence. So that is what we are born with. That is original purity or integrity. Maybe over the period of time, our values, our different situation led to something that we lost. We are in touch with our thoughts, words, and actions, and not coming out of integrity. It is coming from some other thing. Then it is restored back to our original integrity. That is also known as healing, and return to a sound state. So it is. This is have a deep meaning. Sound state means all levels, our body goes back to the sound state, fully aligned state, highly energetically vibrating state. That is a sound state. So second part of our discussion, as I just mentioned, between the how to go from third dimensional consciousness to fifth dimensional consciousness. So fifth dimensional consciousness can be considered as a sound state of a human being. We are spiritual being having human experience. So how to go into that state? So that will be the number 6 will be have a more deeper meaning. That part I will explain in detail. But I think 1 to 5, it is easily understandable. I hope there should not be any confusion regarding that, what is meant by that. But saying so, there are many, but I'm just taken few just so that your understanding is clear. So now I will go into the next slide, which is how healing happens. So we understand which is considered as a healing, except the last one. Last one I come later on. But the first 5, this 1 to 5, these 5 things, like to remove pain, to restore healthy body, to overcome an undesirable condition or situation, to yield mental balance and serenity, or to restore original purity or integrity. These 5 things can be addressed this way. So that's what I'm going to explain, how healing happens. It is just the technology, how the technique works, how the healing happens. So the first point is about human body and mind. You might have seen those are related to our human body and mind. Human body and mind function under various frequency elements. So we all know that we have something called cellular vibrancy. Each cell of our body vibrate at certain frequencies. Similarly, collectively, each body part has been having different frequency, and our mind has a brain wave and all we have already discussed earlier. So this, we have a various frequency elements in the body. When we tune this frequency, when this frequency is synchronized or they are in unison, they may not be same. There are the different frequency levels, but they're tuned. Healing happens. How to understand this? It is, you can analogy can be given as a symphony or music concert. There are different instruments, but if they are synchronized, that the melody comes out. And if they are not synchronized, the same instrument become a cacophony, like become a noise. It is unpleasant to hear. But if those are synchronized, then everything goes as a great piece of music, that it is enchanting to hear that kind of music. So human body also work that way. So if you know the technique, then how to synchronize those things, healing automatically happens. So it is just a first point is extension. That is the second point is mentioned with body is tuned. Like if I can make our body tuned up, and the frequencies are, when we can come back to the original frequency of our body or the native frequency, then health automatically appears. So that is because all this, the individual instrument become part of the symphony. So like that, the health appears automatically. So the symphony cannot be imposed from outside. When all the instruments are in unison, in tuned, and play with under certain ways, within a certain framework, then symphony automatically appears. So same is a health automatically appears there. Next is about the technique, is about the prana, pranic energy. The prana is the energy which runs our life. There is a lot of, you might have heard that there is something called pranic healing or the Reiki healing. So these are all to deal with the pranic energy, the life force energy which runs our life. Means without that energy, the body become a dead body. So the difference between a dead body and live body is, in the live body, the pranic energy is there. The energy element is there, and the dead body, those elements, that energy, pranic energy has left that. This is no longer there. So that's called its dead body. So anyway, I'm talking about that energy which runs the life. So that is called pranic energy or prana. So if we can, if there is any kind of disease or any area, that means there is a loss of pranic energy there. So dead is the worst case, but in between cases are disease. Like there is not enough pranic energy to run that particular body part. So when we just top up that area with the pranic energy, then that human body, that area get healed and then come back to the normal. And then when come back to the normal, they then come in, move in the same pace with the other parts of the body. So then human body heals. Balancing of 5 elements in the human body heals. So we all know that our basic, it is any manifestation, any physical manifestation, in fact, whole physical universe was made out of 5 elements. So this 5 elements is the fire, air, space, water, earth, and water. This 5 elements. So if we know the technique, so in that way, our human body is also made of these 5 elements, that fire, air, space, earth, and the water. If we can balance these 5 elements in the human body, then automatically healing comes up. So those are also technique of the elemental healing. So and when we heal that, and then automatically we get the healthy body. How to about healing the mind? Mind is when mind is silenced, healing happens. So this is what we do during the meditation. Our mind is chattering all the time. About 60,000 thoughts pass through our mind every day, and 95 to 99% of them has no practical utility. Basically, they are drawing our energy. They're drawing our life force energy, drawing our pranic energy. So unnecessarily, we are wasting energy into this uncontrolled thoughts. So if we can silence our mind, if we learn how to go to the no thought zone, we save those energy, save those pranic energy, that 95% energy, and that retained in the body. And when it is retained in the body, healing automatically happens. And all the mind related things like imbalance, and feeling anxiety, agitation, and too much emotional outburst, etc., those things get automatically healed if we just simply silence the mind. And next is when the stillness of mind is held for a longer duration. Like that is a meditation. Like if you silence the mind, some healing happens. But if you can practice it to hold it for a longer duration, then massive cleansing happens into that during that meditation. And that particular healing is called Turiya healing. Means if you want to maintain in the Turiya state, the fourth state, then your super conscious mind takes over, and then whatever available in the higher dimension, that healing comes to your body, you attract that by that, and then healing happens. So this is how that these are the again, this is not all, there are many, but at least I have given you some kind of pointers to understand that how healing happens. And now next point is about that how this is done. Means it is done when we can do it on ourselves. Like let me come back to our normal mode to stop this presentation. Can you see me? Just raise your hand if or thumbs up. Give me. Okay. Right. So now we have understood that what is normally called as a healing and how healing is done. Then I'm coming just to give you the how healing is done. There are two ways. Two ways means one is that somebody else is helping you to get healed. That person is called healer. This healer, so what he or she does, that person invokes the energy, the pranic energy first onto himself or herself. So the quality of that healer energetically, he should be able to attract more energy and hold that energy. That is the quality of the healer. It can be a spiritual master or just simply a healer, not a spiritual master, but this can happen. This healing ability has been given as a part of a gift of enlightenment. The persons who are enlightened, they have got the gift automatically. Why they got this gift automatically? But the part of the process, they clean their, of course, physical body, that hygiene and all these things, then energy body, emotional body, even the karmic body all gets clean. Up to 5th level, this got clean. If you go to that level of cleanliness, you can attract that energy very well, or hold. We call it holding the light. They can hold the light. They can hold a huge amount of pranic energy and the higher spiritual energy. They can hold it. So what they do, so if somebody needs healing, So that person needs to know who is the person and where it is located, just to guide that energy. And during our learning of the Kriya, we explain that energy flows where our intention is, where our focus is. Like we activate chakra by focusing on the chakra, no? First chakra, then go to second. That's what we do Kriya. So what we do, we breathe in, 3:2 breathing, stomach breathing. We inhale, the breathing brings the pranic energy inside our body. Then we focus on the first chakra, energy goes there. Shift the focus to second chakra, energy goes. That's how we activate. All of us, we do that. Same way, the healers or masters, they get that energy because they can hold huge amount of energy, the pranic energy and spiritual energy, the level higher. Simply by intention, to focusing on that person, it goes there instantly. And this energy dimension, there is no time and space. It can go anywhere in the world instantly. Okay. So this is one. This is how the healers do. Okay, so this is one how the healer transfers the energy. They can have a different types of energy and all, but basic technology is same. First, you have to invoke that energy and then pass it on to the healee or who is getting healed. So that's what healing happens. It can be. This is what I explained. That is a remote. If it is if in the physical contact of that master, the energy field of the master itself is a healing. If somebody just sit down doing nothing, just sitting down in the energy field, healing automatically happens. If next higher degree of healing is needed, then that master sometimes give Shaktipat. In third eye, you put the thumb, or blessing on the forehead, or like that on your forehead or third eye, that transfers energy. And that transfer energy, it is more powerful than the remote because we are in the physical presence. If that master's energy, not some, the whole of the master's energy, if it needs to be passed on instantly, the best method, I'm just explaining for the understanding purpose, best method is holy hug. If a master hugs somebody, understand that person is truly blessed. Because instantly, not only what is needed, it is the master's energy in full, it transfers instantly. And that is the time the healing happens. Means whatever it is, just like a mirror technology. Immediately that goes into just like a mirror, you see the full body, like that it goes there. Suppose it can also work, this holy hug is given, somebody is, say, in the ICU, they have no way they can do any kind of practice or the healing for themselves. Then also the holy hug is given to the patient who cannot even sit up. So that instantly they get energy boost, and that happened. There is many cases. One of them, I remember somebody in 2015, I think, one of my spiritual sister, Guru Bahan, Dr. Alpa Dalal, in Jupiter Hospital, Thane. She took me to some patients, 2 patients, I remember. So cancer patients. So there I did some pray and I gave the holy hug to one gentleman. I forget about that one, about that incident. Thing. Later on, I went to Mumbai, and coincidentally that time I went for a conference. Then that time Guruji Prem Nirmalji was giving some talk, satsang. So I went just to attend. That is also, I think, somewhere in Thane, in Rotary Club. So I just coincidentally I was in the same city, so I just went to attend that. So I saw one couple, one gentleman with white kurta pajama, and his wife. So that gentleman came and touching my feet. I said, "What you are doing?" So it's all, and I honestly I didn't recognize him. He said, "You remember you met me in Jupiter Hospital?" I said, "Sorry, I don't remember." So I was the patient, the cancer patient, and you give me certain things, and you did the healing, and I'm here today. I'm healed. I could not contact you, but I saw you, and this thing. Even I didn't also recognize you, because that time I was not in a condition to recognize you. My wife told that he came and all these things. But this happens. It's all Babaji's grace. What I'm saying is, this is a technique has been used for the heal. So there's the healer's role to how to transfer that energy. It's all about transferring energy, nothing more than that. And next, second part, what I'm talking about, that second one is that healer heals you. Another is called best is self-healing. You can do it for yourself. And those are the techniques mentioned there, that going into no thought zone, balancing 5 elements, you can do it yourself. You don't need any healer for that. Okay, that is the best way you can do. Because whenever you need, all the time, the master or healer may not be there with you. So my advice is you to learn this technique. Already we are doing, Kriya meditation, we are doing it itself. Even 108 stomach breathing itself is a great, it has got a healing ability. It will heal you. Even the situations. Because the situations we attract in our lives based on our own vibration. If you raise our vibration, the situation got solved automatically. That is the right understanding. Everything is governed by frequency. So only thing you have to raise your frequency, and that's it. Then things will happen on its own. So this is about the understanding part of it, and the techniques you already know. So I will just remind you once again that going into no thought zone is healing, self-healing. By inhaling 3:2 stomach breathing and attending to the area which, suppose you need to remove the pain, you redirect that, focus, that part will be healed. Sometimes we do it at the part of Kaya Upasana. During Kaya Upasana, sometimes I see now you breathe in and feel, you scan your body, feel where there is anything, any discomfort. Suppose you have a little bit of back pain. So you intend that the energy you are inhaling through breathing is going there. Your focus needs to be there where the pain is. And with exhalation, that pain is going out from your system. If you repeat that 5 to 7 times, or if required more, then you will be healed. And self-healing, I'm talking self-healing techniques. So if you just go to the expanded awareness state and hold that Turiya state of mind, it's also healing. Because that time you're connected with your own divinity, your higher self. Through your higher self, that energy, it enters into your physical body and heals your body and mind. We need not to know it, which area to be there. The healing is like a cleaning your house. You need not to analyze the dirt. It will go. It knows where it is. So just you have to make yourself available for this. And this is about the two way of healing. One is healed by somebody, and second is self-healing. Self-healing is all the spiritual practices that you do, it's basically healing you. 3:2 stomach breathing, holding into no thought, Kaya Upasana, and that focusing on the, all the pranic energy to that area of your body. All this we do practice. So we are automatically getting healed. So this is what we do. And only one point I like to mention, that what is the role of a healer who is receiving healing at the time when some master is, channeling healing. During that period, what you need to do is you have to wholeheartedly allow that to happen. Because of our mental blocks, we have a doubt running that can actually block that energy. Don't question that only that time, oh, it will happen. So he's sitting there, other part of the world, and I'm here. How it is possible? Don't bring all these doubts. You don't know, that doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Okay. And also, it is not necessarily to know each and every technology involved here. We watch television, but exactly how the signal is transmitted, how it is received, how it is converted into picture, you need not to know. Enjoy the show. Okay, so don't bother too much into the technology part of it. Okay, just be available and acceptance. Okay, you need not to be smart. You need not to know everything. To allow, sometimes people become too smart. Say, no, without understanding, I don't allow my body to be used by somebody. I get lost. You enjoy the fruit. How the mango has fruit come out of the mango tree, don't bother. Let the creator takes care of how mango tree is designed and what is the DNA coding of that. So you don't bother. You enjoy the fruit. Okay. So anyway, so too much of smartness, too much of actually they block your healing ability. Okay. So that you be receptive. And if you come to the level of gratitude, that is the best way to receive the healing. I'm just giving you some tips. If you're grateful, thankful, and express gratitude, maximum energy can flow. See, it works like that. Suppose there is a rain in the mountain. There are a lot of, the mountain can have a lot of channels, small channels. That particular gorge will have maximum flow of water, which is a deep and less obstructed by the stones and other things. They can carry maximum water. Which are not deep, with a lot of stones and rocks on that way, or it is flat, it is not deep enough, they will not carry much water. Same with the healing. How to make yourself deep? Be grateful, be receptive, be willing. Many a times when during healing, many people come, they say, oh, we need healing for so and so, one of our relative and so is suffering from can you heal him? I said, okay, I can channel healing, but I send a small affirmation. I said, please send this affirmation to that person, to him, and say that to read it, and then I will send the healing. Affirmation is what? I will allow my physical body and aura to receive the healing wholeheartedly from any known and unknown sources. And whatever, all the damage, whatever happened, it will be healed from the source. And I surrender myself completely. Thank you. This is what the prayer is. What sometimes I get back that some of them, I said, yes. I said, he has already read it. I said, fine, I will channel healing. Some people say, yes, I send the healing to, suppose somebody's brother-in-law or somebody. So I said, send it to my sister, it is her husband, and her husband says he doesn't believe in this kind of technique. Or he cannot receive something from some unknown people, So, and like that, there are several, these are the symbols that they will not get healed, because it is basically taking permission, because without your permission, nothing can happen. At soul level, we are all equal. This prayer is nothing. I'm just wanted to check whether that acceptability is there or not there. If the acceptability is not there, no healing can possible. Okay, it is just a technique just to test whether it is really, they can receive. They're in a position to receive the energy. If you're not in a position to receive energy, nothing can be done. And that is why it is important, not by others. Not you wanted that, maybe that lady wanted that brother-in-law to get healed. It's nothing wrong in that. But that person who is receiving need to be accepting it at soul level. Soul has a different plan. Suppose some soul decided to leave the body. Nobody can do anything. Okay, so they will block that, all this kind of effort. In fact, that time it is considered that that particular soul set kit don't allow more suffering into that. It is already decided to leave. It's okay. So anyway, so that is a normally we give a test case, but overall understanding is unless until you allow healing to happen, no master can do anything for you. Okay, the prayer is just to, I check the whether it is the affirmation is there or not there, the willingness is there or not there. That's all. It's nothing about exact prayer words. If somebody is willing, they'll say yes. Order is 2-3 lines, I can read, no problem. Okay, that happens. So this is how that healing happens. Other than it is extreme case, if the person is in coma naturally, he cannot read it. Then that is a different case. Then use other techniques. So, but with the soul level, we go and take permission, but all this kind of stuff. But it is not normal, but not necessary in all the cases. So you have to just willing. And best way to have it is to be grateful about whatever receiving. You will receive more. Okay, be appreciative and graceful. Don't find out what is not achieved or why it is taking so long. You say, I'm suffering. You don't know. No, you should be, healing me within a day. It's almost 1 week gone. Okay, nothing will come to you. Okay, it's not about the healer's ego. It is about your receptive capacity. Don't forget about all these things. You appreciate. Even a little bit you received, it's okay. You appreciate. More will come. Okay. Sometimes it needs time to remove those blocks. It also takes time sometimes. You need a repetitive thing. If somebody send me a request to heal someone, I regularly do that because it goes by layer. It is not, sometimes it is not instant, always immediately it goes. It may be deep-rooted. I will come into that part a little later. So how to do it, deep-rooted things. So anyway, this is a classical understanding of that for the healing. So now this is the first part. So if you have any question, just unmute and ask me the question.
Rajdeep, I have got a question.
Yes.
When a healer, when this master heals somebody by hugging or something like that, does that master lose energy by that practice? Because in history we have seen that Ramakrishna Paramahansa healed Girish Chandra Ghosh and he himself got affected by it. So is it like that?
Good question. So there are different types of healing techniques. Okay, I will come back to the Ramakrishna Paramahansa's there a little later. When that's why we call it, we are channeling healing. Channeling healing means it is not our energy, not healer's energy, own energy. Okay, they are just a conduit, like a pipe. They just make the pipe so that whatever water you need is coming through the pipe. They are holding the pipe. That's all it is. So none of their own energy goes into that. Okay, so that is how it is because it is a flow. They are just arranging the flow to pass through. That's all. So it will not diminish any kind of thing. But there are some healing where it is called energy exchange. So the energy of who is receiving the healing comes to the healer and all this transfer. Particularly those are in the Reiki healing. This kind of energy transfer happens. Okay, these are also a technique. So the healing, what I was referring to, it is not about your own energy. It is just you are a channel or conduit. And the holy hug, what you are mentioning, what I also explained, you understand it this way. It is like a lamp, lit lamp coming to another lamp. When this master's lamp is a lit lamp, so when you come to the another one which is not lit, come in contact, the other lamp also starts. The master's lamp doesn't lose anything. Other lamp is lit, but the master's lamp has not diminished. So that way, it is not a transfer. It is just like a sharing or maybe duplicating, triplicating or multiplication of that. But it is not that plus minus. Okay, so this is about the correct understanding of the healing what master they do. Like what I'm saying, there's a holy hug, that whole energy of the master instantly goes into that the healing. That is correct, but master doesn't lose anything. That's why I give an example of a mirror. When the mirror comes, so then whatever, suppose there is a sun is a mirror. If the sunlight comes in the mirror, sun doesn't lose anything. Mirror gets whatever the sun's same light, it can reflect back again to somewhere else. So that's how it happens. But only issue is about in that kind of thing that the healing, if their vibration is low, they lose it. Over a certain period, that get decayed, like evaporated. That need to be topped up and things like that again. So that's what we are saying. It is the best technique is to have a self-healing, raise your vibration so that you can hold it, you can heal yourself. If you are vibrating high and you get that, the master holy hug, you can retain it for a very long time. You can experience that, whatever the master is experiencing. And now coming to the second part of your question, that Ramakrishna Paramahansa, there's some of the diseases and all, they cannot be healed at that way even. So what happened with the Girish Ghosh and Thakur, that actually Thakur decided to leave the body anyway. It doesn't matter. So before that, there is a technique. You can transfer that whatever the disease to your own physical body. Just out of compassion to the disciple. The many masters, they did this, just to have that relief, because he is leaving the body anyway. This, whether it is having a cancer or any other things, doesn't matter. So then there is a technique is possible. You can take it to your own body, and then you leave the body so that the other person gets coming out of it completely. Because why happens? The other things happens is even the masters heal, many times it comes back because the healing, they don't change their patterns. The pattern, the lifestyle, the thought process, that's what it comes back. I have seen Alex Orbito, who is one of the most famous healer. I have shared his story. He is in Philippines. Now he left his body last year. So many people, they have healed completely. Medical is everything proven. Even after 2-3 years, same thing comes back. But they didn't come back from that, their thought patterns. You need to change also to retain that state. Otherwise, you lose it again. So that is the right understanding what happened with Ramakrishna Paramahansa and the Girish Ghosh. But those are exceptional cases. Normal healing doesn't work that way. Okay, so normal healing, it just like giving the energy, pranic energy to heal those issues.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Guruji, one small thing. Like many times,
yes,
every master is not inclined to give you a hug. And some disciples or devotees, they go and forcibly hug the master. So,
okay.
So I just want to know, in that case also, does it happen that healing happens, or it is when you are forcing the master to hug you?
No, it doesn't happen when you forcibly do that, because master can switch off also, so
I have seen
yeah,
this
don't think
happening many times.
it is available all the time. See, no, jokes apart, because what happens is the many masters, even though they don't allow to touch their feet also,
Yes, Guru.
they say you just say this, but not touching. I have
Hanji.
seen many masters, they only allow to touch feet of big toe only, not no more than that. Not even full feet you cannot touch.
Hanji.
Because the people, whether you like it or not, people carry different type of negativity and all those things. Okay.
Hanji.
So it get transferred to the master, and master has to then work on it to clean it again. So that's why they don't allow be contaminated. Like in a bucket of milk, you put some kind of one cow milk, you put one drop of urine of cow, then the whole milk gets contaminated. No, they don't want to. They cannot. They're not ready to take these things, so they don't allow that to happen. That's why.
Oh,
But
in that case,
also this happens. Yeah, if you just go and touch, it will not happen because the intention is not there. Masters on, you see, energy flows where the intention is, no?
correct.
Even if you hug the master, but master is not intending to transfer, it will not happen.
It will not happen.
Okay, it will not transfer, even if you do a holy hug.
Second
Okay.
thing, what I was asking was that when you go near a master, now how
Yeah.
to seek his blessings in a proper manner?
No, you just say, please bless me and heal me and be grateful.
Okay.
See that the the gratefulness or gratitude invites grace.
Hanji. Correct.
Okay, that is become graceful. Demanding will not get you there. Okay, you might have seen some master came and there is somebody बाकी लोगों को धक्का धक्का मार के सामने जाके उसको, they will not get it. Okay, you just sit down somewhere near in that area and be grateful. Thank you, I'm receiving it. They will get more. Then somebody ऐसे भी दूसरों को हटा के जाके सामने पैर पड़ के, और there are maybe 30 people are in the queue and they are taking 15 minutes. They are explaining what happened to their child and what happened to their father, what happened to their mother, what happened to them, and all this kind of things. This is a selfish practice, will not get much, that grace. Even if you are silent, you are not saying any word, but you are grateful, you automatically will draw that energy. I'm just telling. It is not that way that you become very close, sitting 1 meter away from the master, you get maximum, and 10 meters away, they will not get it. These are all people's mental, wrong understanding. You just be grateful, you will receive more, rather than be in the physical presence on these things. It will not make, it doesn't happen that way. And I'm saying the understanding, nothing wrong in if you can get chance to sit down in front of a master, is fine. I'm not saying that. But not that, okay, the people are in the queue, you're sitting there for 5 minutes, as long as possible, so that you get, it doesn't happen that way, because it energetically you are creating obstacle for others. You will not get by snatching things from others. In energy dimension, it doesn't work that way. You get more by giving. Okay, I'm giving you a very deep understanding how energy works. If you give more, you will receive more. If you try to hold more, you will get nothing. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
All right.
Rajdeep, as we understand that the degree of healing is highest in case of holy hug and all. Okay. So my question is, in case of, right now, say we are unable to meet each other and all in view of pandemic. So, 1 minute. In view of pandemic, so in this case, virtually the degree of healing is equally effective?
No, it is equally effective. What I'm saying is holy hug is not always necessary. Okay. all the time, holy hug is not necessary. The Shaktipat can be given remotely. What I was talking about this.
Oh, acha. That is possible
Okay,
to.
Yes, yes. See, energy flows where the intention is, but holy hug is the highest level of technology to transfer the energy. But it is not necessary. It also needs a requirement. Somebody is in a coma, in a deathbed, and in the hospital, that they don't have even time.
Yeah.
So that's why master decides to give the holy hug to instantly transfer, to give the energy jet to come. There is a need there.
Okay. Like my understanding is like every Saturday we are meeting through digitally and all these things, digital platform. So right now we are also equally receiving all these things, energy flow from you.
Of course, yes, because you establish some connection. No?
Okay.
Energy flows automatically. Energy flows automatically, and you can feel that.
Understood.
And masters, they can transfer energy in a different ways. Even that, the energy transfers through voice. Voice you are listening, energy getting transferred.
Okay.
It is, it is packed into that. So healing energy goes along with the words. What may be something which may not be much things. What is the temperature today in Kolkata and all this? But things also goes with that. Your higher body receives it. Okay, it goes there. So yeah, even Guruji Prem Nirmalji did some research. It also happens even if the voice is recorded, because there was a question came: what happens if it is not a live session?
I see.
But still it happens.
Like you are posting every week, everything is getting posted. If we are unable to meet you through this digital platform, if we hear all those stuffs through voice message, that is equally effective.
That is equally effective because those energies are packed into the voice.
Okay, understood.
Okay, so that it is, you will receive that, when you listen to that,
Okay.
That was a study done. I'm saying that they're saying what happens if this is not a live.
Okay.
Live is definitely, there is a connection, the transfer of energy is happening already.
Right.
By the way, I'm saying it's not my energy. I'm just channeling energy. I'm just trying to make the understanding clear. That channeling, even if you listen to the recorded voice, that channeling will start, because divine is everywhere. It opens up. Only the research is only whether the channel opens up or not. Channel does open up. Even if you are hearing recorded voice.
Irrespective of the coordinator of guru or master.
Yes. When you listen, it opens up. It's not necessarily to live always. So physical presence is always not necessary.
Right.
Okay. So that is the right understanding.
Thank you very much.
All right. God bless you.
I have a question. So sometimes they say suppressed thoughts and emotions lead to ailments of the body. What do you think about this? Is it true? Like they even relate like cancer or anything because of our own suppressed emotions. They call it the mind-body connect. How much of this is true, Guruji?
Oh, this is fully responsible. It's all fully true. Okay.
So how do those
suppressed emotions, suppressed feeling, they give rise to some kind of the disease. Okay, so that's why we go into the high vibration so that it can be released faster. Okay, but any kind of suppression will lead to some kind of disease.
So how do we not fall into those thought patterns, Guruji? How do we understand if we are doing those thought patterns by mistake?
Yeah, so that is a good question. So those are all your spiritual practices are meant for that, so that you can come out of your own patterns. In a higher vibration, it goes off automatically. You have to need just to concentrate raising the vibration through 108 stomach breathing. That is for increasing cellular vibrance.
Guruji, just by doing that, is it very effective?
Yes. Okay. Okay, because your mind will not accept because things are simple. See, in the we need complicated things. If I bring very complicated equipment and put you on one side and bring it outside, you think your job is done. But if I give you a simple breathing technique, you will not accept because we are programmed that way. Okay, but if it's suppose that particular instrument is is a 1.2 crore equipment, and you have undergone that, passing through some kind of scanner, you will be very happy that my job is done. Okay, so that's what I'm saying. It's just a mental thing. Just drop it. We have all the instrument within ourselves. I'm just saying it seriously. But human body has everything. Only thing you have to learn the technique, how to do it, how to get these things done, and you follow that, you will get it. There's no such big deal. But only thing you need to accept it. As I was telling, that somebody is not receiving healing because they are not internally, they are not accepting it. Then nobody can do any healing for you. Okay, acceptance needs to be there. Gratitude is best to be there. Then you will receive a lot of healing energy. Okay.
Thank you, Guruji.
All right. Okay. Okay. Is there any other question? Yes, Sanjeev. I cannot hear you, Sanjeev. I cannot hear you. No, I cannot hear you. Okay, you type your question in the group. I will answer there. Okay. Yes, Chaitali, go ahead.
Guruji, suppose I am mad on at somebody. I should do 108 stomach breathing to release that emotion, or I will tell that person I will tell that person to release my emotion. Suppose
yeah. So that person has nothing to do with that. It is your emotion you have to handle. Okay.
Okay.
You are thinking it is because of the other person, but it is coming from within you. Understand that it is coming from you, right? Okay. So it is your emotion you have to handle. It's nothing to do with the other person.
But that suppose that other person behavior made me mad.
No, I understand what I'm saying, but still, the reaction is yours. Huh?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, let me put it that way. If I am there in your position, I may not react that way.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so there lies the difference.
Oh.
So that emotion, that outburst is yours. Forget about the what other person is doing.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so just disconnect that. Otherwise, you cannot start healing that.
Okay.
You keep blaming hundreds of people, but you will not work on yourself. That's what I'm not. Normally, I say ki wo jaye tel lene. Okay. Forget about the other person. No matter what he is doing, shouting, dancing, doing jugglery, or it doesn't matter. Okay. Treat that other person is coming out of some mental asylum, and he's shouting on you. He needs compassion and healing. It's not a normal behavior. They need treatment, healing, compassion. Like truly, if somebody comes out of mental asylum and shouted at me, and giving me, say, gali galoj and all those things, I will not get angry because I know he's coming out of mental asylum. He needs treatment. His disease is speaking, not him. Okay. So disconnect that. So first part, disconnect the other party. That's what I call bojai tel lene. Okay. It's nothing to do with the other person. Whether he's coming from mental asylum or Himalayas doesn't matter. Okay. Just keep that aside. You have to work on your emotion. Your emotion should not come out. Okay. So now you have to, then you can start working on that.
Okay.
That why, if, that RPA stands here, he will not react this way. Why me? Then you start working on that. Okay. So what is your word? It is your emotion. So you first thing you take responsibility. It is not about what others are doing. It's my emotion is coming out. So I have to do something so that it doesn't come out or it doesn't disturb me. Okay. Because if you allow somebody else to disturb you, that means you are giving power somebody else to control you. Understand that.
Okay.
So if first thing, you don't give power to anybody else to control your mind. Okay, take the power within you, then you enhance your vibration. So that you you restore your power and no other this kind of vibration can affect you.
Okay.
Or we have no other techniques like how to disconnect energetically somebody in two anti-clockwise and cut. Then you can invoke protection shield if needed. But all starts when you stop blaming others for your own actions or words or behavior. Take responsibility and don't allow anybody else to mess it up with you. It's not about others. It is about you.
Okay.
Okay. If you don't react after 3-4 instances, automatically the other side will lose the interest and run away. Okay.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Fine. So it is all about you. You know, I'm just taking this opportunity to explain this thing to anybody. It was not about others. It has never been about others. You are no way responsible to correcting others, the world, the external thing, and everything. What you are responsible for yourself. Take the power back to yourself. Learn the techniques, whatever spiritual guides and gurus, learn the techniques, how to not to get disturbed and bothered with all these things, how to get detached from all these things. They will run on its own. These people may never be corrected. It is not your responsibility to correct them. Your responsibility to correct yourself. Or go above so that it doesn't touch you. Take a flight, go above the cloud level so that even rain happens, mud happens, storm happens, it doesn't touch you. You are above that. That is the way. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Guruji.
All right. Okay. God bless you. All right. I'm coming now to the second part of the discussion that, oops, already 1 hour gone. Second part is about it. So traditional healing, how we do, we have now understood, and what is the approach we take and all those things. Now I'm coming to that a lot of us, we need healing to match up our vibration with the current vibration of planet Earth, Mother Earth, which is a 5th dimensional consciousness. It has that transfer has already, that transition started in 21st December 2012. We shared it earlier also. The transition happened. Earth is going its own process. Last year we had a pandemic. Pandemic has forced all the members on the planet Earth to go inward, to reassess your life, reassess your priority, reassess what is truly needed, what is not needed. Okay. So earlier, we were completely controlled by our mind. Now, this controlling by the mind is actually the 3-dimensional reality. In the spiritual term, it is called duality consciousness. Duality consciousness means right and wrong, good and bad. This kind of thing, profit and loss. All this that duality consciousness. Means to myself to be good, somebody has to be bad. To myself to win, somebody has to lose. I can make profit if I can take money from somebody. These kind of concepts are called duality consciousness. They are the third dimensional consciousness, and it is operated by mind. Okay. And our ego is sitting there. Ego is the boss of the mind. So you get controlled by your mind means you are controlled by your ego. And ego has all those things. Okay, so this is called three-dimensional consciousness. It has got a role. It played its role. It's fine. But now the energy of Earth had transitioned to the fifth dimensional consciousness. Why fourth is missing? Because fourth is transitory. Like you are taking, suppose I'm taking flight from Dubai to Paris. If Dubai is a third dimension and Paris is fifth dimension, that the flight in flight is fourth dimension. You cannot stay there. Either you come back to third or reach the destination. Anyway, so fifth dimension consciousness is unity consciousness. Okay, I repeat this part. Third dimensional consciousness is a duality consciousness. I explain what duality is. And fifth dimensional consciousness is unity consciousness. Fifth dimensional consciousness is operating from love, operating from heart, not mind.
Guruji, what is this third dimensional? Three dimensional.
Third dimension.
Three dimensional.
Yeah, third dimension.
Volume, or what is it?
No, that's a different. I'm saying reality. I'm consciousness. I'm talking. Okay. Okay. Now, as you bringing that our scientific thing. Okay, scientific length, breadth, width is this a three-dimensional, right?
Correct. No, yeah. Height. Length, breadth, and height. Length, breadth, and height.
Length, breadth, and height. Okay, these are three dimension, correct?
Hanji.
Fourth dimension, if you add time into that.
Correct.
Okay, that is fourth dimension.
Hanji.
Now, if we add something is beyond time, which is your spiritual part.
Hanji.
That is fifth dimension.
Hanji.
Okay, let me put it on a little bit different. Length, breadth, and height, that is third dimension.
Hanji.
Length, breadth, height, and time is a fourth dimension.
Correct.
Length, breadth, height, time, and love is fifth dimension.
Okay.
Which you cannot measure with all this. I'm talking pure love, not the traditional love people use. I love ice cream. I love New York. It's not that. Okay. Yeah. So love cannot be measured in all these things.
Correct.
Okay. So that is a spiritual quality. So that is a fifth dimensional. So in fact, Guruji Prem Nirmalji says it is all our journey. The spiritual practice is all about that 1 foot coming from mind to heart. That is the journey you are taking.
Because what they say is that this time and space exists only till such time your mind exists. The moment we go to no mind, the time and space is not there.
So in other words, if you go to energy dimension, the time and space is not there. It's all energy. Okay. What we practice in the fifth step, no, we do energy, no?
Hanji.
Through Sandhika Jagruta, we go there. There is no time and space there.
Correct.
Time and space have been created to give you three-dimensional experiences. It's like a background. It is a movie screen where the projector movie is played. Okay. So anyway, so fifth dimensional reality is you're operating from your heart. I'm just saying that the transfer, what you need to happen. So you have to mind-based reality to your heart-based reality. That is the transition all the whole humanity is taking. And mind-wise, it is a duality consciousness, and the fifth dimension is unity consciousness. Okay. To realize that we are one. That is the unity consciousness. There is a fifth dimensional concept. fifth dimension of living life is that. Okay. Now comes where we need a healing. Okay. Now listen this part also very carefully. You analyze yourself. If your feelings somehow associated with some kind of feeling threatened or fear, any kind of threat, fear, doubt, you are still in third dimensional reality. If you are feeling hopeful, self-love, something coming from within, you're saying everything will be all right, it will be taken care of. You have reached fifth dimensional reality. Okay. If you are in a competitive mode, then you are still at third dimensional reality. If you're feeling compassion about human being, other human being, I'm not saying you have to do big projects to show your compassion. I'm not saying that. Just feeling I'm talking. If you're feeling compassion about other people, others, not only you, not only me and my family. Oh, dusre ke liye kya karna hai? Why should you bother about others people? It's not about that. It's about your feeling. If you can feel about others, you are in a fifth dimensional reality. You don't have to. There is no compulsion. There is no law there yet. In future, some law will come, maybe different way. But still now there is no law. It's open territory. It's about your feeling, but no law can control. Okay, they can control only your words and actions, but not your thoughts and feelings. Okay, no law can do that. Anyway, so if your self-assessment, if you still think, then you need success, means doing more work and doing more money, more this thing, more, and you are still in the third. More not means success in a fifth dimension. More, higher, taller, bigger is not a success measure of success. Okay, let me put another example. Suppose you are practicing target. Okay, you are practicing target, but you have been put it into some area which is there is in the night time and there is no light at all. You have been given 1,000 arrows to throw. So, and you know that whatever target you have to meet, that is at your level, your eye level, the target is. One board with a, so the ring type of thing where in the middle you have to hit that bullseye. So what you do is, what you go there, because in the night you don't see anything. Okay. Say on target, or maybe some kind of sound. Maybe there is some beaker there. Some sound is there, you have to hit the sound by throwing arrow. And at the same time, there are a lot of other sounds are also happening. So what you do is, to hit the target, you go with the 1,000 arrows and you are so powerful, so energetic, you throw arrow in all directions, all possible directions. So suppose you have used 980 arrows and only one of them they hit the target. So you feel yourself successful because you have done so many things. You have thrown so many arrows. This is your third dimensional reality. Okay. What is fifth dimensional reality? When the light comes, don't try this in the darkness. Bring the light. See it properly. Or if it's a sound case, you understand which beaker you have to hit, and let other noises sort out by yourself. You are not concentrating of any other noise, only that sound. So you're clear what is the target, then take the arrow and hit just one. And save that 979 arrows. That's fifth dimensional reality. Throwing more arrow is not a success. Hitting it with a one is the success. So that rest of the time you spend, save the energy and spend in other things. So I'm just giving some small example of that one. So how to deal the change in the difference in the two-dimensional realities. So what I'm saying is that we need a special type of healing for those who are still stuck in the third dimensional reality to move on to the fifth, because Earth is going there anyway, whether you like it or not. So many people are coming because they realize the old techniques are not working. Why it's not working? Because they're still throwing arrow in the dark. Okay, the light has not come, the awareness has not come, the focus has not come. That's why. So first thing is bring the light. Look at it, what the objective is, where your goal is, what is the purpose of your life is, and then move forward. With a minimum effort, you can reach to the target. So that is the fifth dimensional living. And you have enough, energy to share and deal with others. That 979 arrows, which has not thrown, or in 1,000 you have, so one you hit, so next 999 arrows, you can help others to learn how to do that. So technically, you can teach 999 people more how to throw that one arrow, right? So you need not to spend all your arrows for yourself and hit only one. You can see it properly, hit one, rest 999, you use it for others. That is fifth dimensional living. Okay. So healing means how we can reach to that level of consciousness, from duality consciousness to unity consciousness. That's what I'm saying. This is a new. This is not been explained earlier. That's what I'm explaining now. That all the spiritual masters are now helping humanity to do that transition. Many, I'm not saying this is an exclusive few. There are thousands of masters working only for this purpose, to make the humanity ready for fifth dimensional living. So they need healing. They have to drop off this old pattern and come to that, because old pattern will not work. More and more, the time progresses, more and more it will be irrelevant. New things will be developed. In particularly this year, 2021, many new things will come. It will be discovered, and new things will be invented, new techniques will be invented, and so on and so forth. But it will not be easy. The old system will still be stubborn and try to prevent that, and it will not be easy, but it will eventually come. So one good news is then to reassess yourself. As I said, you see the pattern, what your thought pattern and action pattern, you will know which one you are choosing, even unconsciously, subconsciously. What comes automatically, then you know which dimension you are living. So whoever needs to go from third dimension to fifth dimensional reality, that is a special healing needed this year for the whole humanity. And Babaji is guiding to many masters to do that, exactly that. And one good news is, no need to get frustrated. Oh my God, again, these kind of things are again coming. We have to do a lot of hard work. Don't bother. You will be guided. Only thing from your side, what you have to do, you have to say, yes, I allow myself to get healed completely from all known and unknown damages at any level. and open myself to anybody comes and gives me this kind of help and teaching and understanding. Yeah. I'm ready. Only that you have to offer yourself and disconnect from your all third dimensional parameters. Then you enter into the territory where you will be healable. If you say, no, I'm running good. What's wrong with me? I'm fine. I'm having this, I have a house, I have a car, I have this family, then you are not ready. Okay. So when you are ready, then healing is possible. And when you are ready for that healing, then help will appear and you will get it. And what good news is, in 2021, this healing is possible in much, much faster way. That is a good news. The energy has come to certain level. What earlier you need 3 years, now you will need 3 months. The same thing, same result. Okay, it is a fast forward energy in this year. So take the opportunity and advantage of that and then reach to that 5th dimensional reality faster. It's all possible. So now I'm explaining what you need from your side to do that. First is, as I mentioned, you should be ready. Make yourself ready, open internally also. No doubt. No doubt to be or not to be. Don't bring any doubt. Just open yourself up. You have whenever you sit in a meditation, you have the conscious intention. Just repeat it within yourself that I am ready to heal myself in all the levels. All known, unknown. Any damage happened anywhere. I'm ready to heal and catch up with the 5th dimensional reality, or whatever name you call it, unity consciousness. I'm ready for my journey from duality consciousness to unity. The framing word, you can do it whatever works for you better. I'm ready to travel from my mind-based control to my heart-based control. I offer my life to be controlled by my heart, not by my mind. Or the way you frame it, it's up to you. But you have to have a conscious intention. You have a power to manifest your intention. If this is not in your intention, it will not happen. Masters can help you, but effect will be temporary. To journey, the permanently stay there, you have your conscious intention. And that's what I was mentioning, the lagan mein agan hona chahiye. You have to be passionately looking for it, desperately, asking for it. And when you are in the process, so you have to, all your old baggages, you have to feel and release it. You have to end the suffering. End the suffering means you cannot hold something and get it healed. You have to bring it to the flow. So you have to go deep inside you during meditation and all and bring it to the surface. Some area you never touched. It is a time to go into that. Why? More deep you go, more higher you will reach. It's like a tree. Okay, the tallest tree in the forest has a deepest root inside the ground. So you have to reach taller, you have to go deeper. You have to dig up whatever is there and bring it to the surface so that it goes forever. And what is the difference between this kind of things called suffering and all? So just understand that whichever you are holding, that will create your suffering for you. I given earlier that example that it is like something old pain and old heart. You still keep in the fridge and open time to time, smell it. It's already rotten. The food is rotten already, 2 years old. Close the fridge and you enjoy. You enjoy that suffering. That has to go. It's a pattern. You have to clean your fridge once for all. And for that, you have to, at least for once, you have to touch that. You have to reach to those areas of your fridge and hold it and bring it. It will not be pleasant, but it is necessary now. Okay, remember that. Whichever you are holding cannot be healed. You have to bring it to the surface so that it is a chance to get healed, and then it will go forever. It will never come back. I'm not saying that end of suffering does not mean that there is no pain. Pain will be there, but you will be detached. In your life, pain will come. It's a journey. If the road goes up, it will come down also sometimes. But you need not to keep those memories inside you and visit time to time. That is called suffering. Okay. Pain, you don't have any control. It comes from the outside. Earlier also, somebody was also asking about somebody else is doing something. And those you cannot control. But what you can control is yourself. Don't keep that into your memory. Suppose some incident happened one day. Every week you sit down and open that and revisit that. That is called suffering. Suffering is optional. You need not to revisit. You need not to keep that rotten food in the fridge and open it every week and smell it. No need. Throw it off. Okay. And what happens is, when we do that, that becomes our habit pattern. We enjoy that suffering, basically. Not only that enjoy, we glorify. We tell other 5 people, look, I'm suffering this one. If you glorify something, if you hold on to something, that area cannot be healed. Understand that. Because healing is a flow of energy, not stagnation. Anything stagnated cannot be healed. You have to throw it into the river, river will take you. But if you don't throw it into the river, you put some anchor and hold it, it will not go. Okay, that is the understanding. So this is the time in this year, bring all the go deeper. As I said, go deeper will help you to move higher. Go deeper, dig it up, whatever it is there. If it is not there, you are lucky. I'm not saying you have to be something is there. I'm saying just check. Go deep into yourself, check it and say, yeah, I'm ready to heal and these things, and throw these things out. And give it to the divine. It will take you, it will take this flow, that energy will flow you and you get healed. Then you are ready for your 5th dimensional reality. So that is the final understanding of this 5th dimensional reality and how to get healed. I hope somehow, it's a difficult subject, but I explained why it is needed to be healed. Many needs healing. There's nothing wrong, by the way. Normal life, there is nothing wrong, but still you need healing to reach to the level whether you can enjoy the 5-dimensional living. Why I'm explaining all these things? Because I know many of you are not enjoying your 5th dimensional living. The reason is this. Clean up your fridge. Okay. Make yourself healable. And then you enjoy the fruit. That's all. All right. So that completes the learning session. So yes, Shaibal.
Yeah. So this is not about, Ravi, my question is not about my own healing, but about the journey of others, including me, to 5th dimension with the goal of universal love. So let me start with the disclaimer of which, quoting from you, "Baki log gaye til lene," but here is the situation in this pandemic, right? That's what the social scientists are talking about. that since we are isolated in this phase of pandemic, we are choosing to connect with the people we are in tune with. For example, we want to be, say, in this particular gathering, I chose to join. Similarly, others are also doing the same thing, right? They want to listen to the ones they like to listen for. That's why there's a clear divide between people who watches Fox News versus CNN or other things, right? So that's why it's difficult because we are not meeting in regular workplace, we are not meeting in some other gatherings, we don't see the counter views. Now, I think through this practice, we have learned how to take everybody's views and kind of, but I'm talking generally, how do you see once this thing opens up, everybody will be able to understand each other and everybody will, the journey has to be for everybody, right? Moving towards universal love. Or do you think those who are in that mode, segregating themselves, will be left behind and only a few will be traveling to the 15th dimension?
Okay. The first, let me give you one statement. It is nothing to do with others and it will never be. Okay. Yeah. It's all about yourself. Forget about others. You are not responsible. You're not responsible for others, fellow being, whether they're enlightened or not, and what CNN and Fox News is doing and what other political things. It's none of your business. Okay. You reach, all these are created to come to that same level of disgust. There is nothing outside. Okay, there are a lot of, some intentions and self-interest in play, and don't get played into all these things. That's all I'm saying. Okay, this is the time to disconnect with all this. Mm-hmm. Because we need to go not into right and wrong. We are still in dual consciousness. I am not supporting right and killing wrong. I come to a level where the right and wrong doesn't matter because it is not under my direct responsibility.
That's true. Yeah.
That is the consciousness you have to come. Now you come to a stage where you are healable. Or you are, being into who is right, who is wrong, to whom I will support, who will not support, and who will be, liberated, who will not be. I'm still into the duality consciousness. Truth is, everybody get liberated. They have the instrument. They only don't know. They are throwing arrows in the darkness. Only we need to bring the light, not to get a better arrow or bigger target. Okay. From the outside consciousness, bring it inside consciousness. The light, when it comes, everything will be fine. When the noises are silenced, that beaker can be heard very clear. Where to hit. Okay, that's what we are concentrating here. Okay, so first thing to come to that level, first thing you need to do, drop everything, all this, whatever earlier governing. No matter what people say, because something now in the age of social media, something has come. There is no way I can check it is true or false.
That's right.
Or somebody distorted one word. It may be originally story is true, but things have been twisted 2-3 things. I don't know. I cannot spend my emotional energy for something which is fundamentally not true, and no way of knowing that whether it is true or not. Okay, so better drop it all together for the time being, by the way. I'm not saying forever. When I have to trust my own soul consciousness, which knows everything, I need not to read media and, the WhatsApp messages to get knowledge. My soul knows everything. Why not to try that? Then I have a feeling I may not be sharing with everyone. No need, because you are not asking some kind of approval from anyone. Then you come into the knowingness, you come to the know the pandemic happened, a lot of things you can hear and all those things. You can be sad and sad for maybe another 2 years, but things will not change. It will happen whatever need to happen. But if you work on yourself, you come to a level that these things will not touch you. You see the beauty in everything, even in the suffering. You see, then you reach to the purpose of it. You get ready for that period when it is coming.
Yeah, so I think I'm reaffirming my position that I'm focusing on myself. Let others do whatever.
Yeah, because they are none of your direct responsibility.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm not saying you think bad for them. I'm not saying that. I'm saying get detached. Don't allow these events to affect you.
Absolutely.
Okay, when you reach to the peak, then you can see all the sides by yourself. Lighted side, dark side, side facing towards the sun, the side which has never seen the sun, everything, because you are at the peak. Then things will reveal by itself. But if you are below that level, that your local environment will control you, not the whole, because you have not reached the peak. You don't have full vision. That's what I'm saying. Forget about what is around you. Keep moving towards the peak. Once you reach there, everything will be made clear to you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
All right. Fine. I think it's already time now. So I will go into a little bit of Kriya and meditation. Okay. Yes, Rashmi.
Can I post it on the group or shall I ask now, Guruji?
And okay, go ahead. Now ask. Yeah.
Guruji, you were talking about not holding on to oneself, right? So, naive question. Suppose somebody ill-treats you, somebody puts you down. So, should you support yourself and say, okay, what you're saying is wrong, or what? I mean, at least give a heads up saying, I'm feeling insulted. So, should we even tell that or just suppress it?
No, you have to tell. Don't get yourself emotionally invested into that.
Okay.
Okay, you just tell this is not acceptable to me.
Okay, it's okay to say, right?
Yes. You should say that, but don't get carried away with these things. Don't see whether it actually affects that person or all these kind of things. Okay. See, to say this, it is not your ego is saying. It is called your self-respect. Don't sell your self-respect for anything else. Or don't sell means don't, underestimate your self-respect. Always it needs to be there. It should be made clear that this is not acceptable to me. You need not to fight, but make clear that this is not acceptable to me. Okay. And particularly, and there can be different kinds of people. And as we all know that if you start fighting with each and everybody, then your life will be hell. And they say that don't fight with a pig. It is not that you will get dirty. The pig will like that too, because they want you to come down to their level and fight. Don't give that kind of opportunity to anyone. Okay. Make your voice heard and just leave it there. No matter what they do, what they say, doesn't matter. If you don't feed them with equal and opposite reaction, that action will stop. Okay.
Thank you, Guruji.
All right. Fine. So we have now, let us do a little bit. So today what we'll do is we'll do, so in the full meditation and things we'll do in the evening session here. So we don't have much time. It's almost because I have to visit someone who wanted to get initiated into Kriya in Dubai. So I have to leave after 15 minutes. So what we'll do is we'll do directly into some meditation. Learning session is over. Question answer is over. So we'll do Hridaya Upasana. We'll do first 3 Om chanting, then Guru Vandana, then about 10-15 minutes, we'll do Hridaya Upasana in this mudra, Hridaya Mudra. You see that pointing finger touching your root of the thumb where you can feel the pulse. And then you touch the tip of the thumb with the middle finger. This is the Hridaya Mudra. Okay, clear? So we'll meditate into this mudra. Not now, I'm just showing it now. So I just repeat whole thing. Both of your hands, you rotate, or just spread the fingers, then bring the pointing finger. It should touch the root of the thumb. And you just find out where the vein is, that where the pulse is there. One place you will see the blood, the blood vessel with some pulsation. Feel that, put your tip of the finger there. Then you move your middle finger and touch tip of the thumb. And other fingers will be left loose, and then you put it on your lap. So this is the Hridaya Mudra. Okay? Fine. So just we'll start now. Sit straight, spinal cord straight, face straight. Breathe in and breathe out a few times. And relax yourself. Now we'll chant Guru Vandana to seek blessings of Mahavatar Babaji, Mataji, Amar Jyoti Ji, Guruji Prem Nirmal, Guru Ma Bhartim Nirmal, and all the masters of Guru Mandala. Akhanda Mandala Akaram Vyapam Yena Characharam Tatpadam Darshitam Yena Tashmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Ajnanatimiraandhasya Gana Janashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tashmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshwara Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tashmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Tashmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Tashmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Now come to Hridaya Mudra and place it on your lap. First few minutes, focus on your breathing. Anapanasati Dhyan. Now focus on your heart, physical heart, not heart chakra. Focus on your heart and feel the heartbeat internally. If you are not sure you are getting the heartbeat, you can feel tip of your pointing finger to feel the same pulse at the root of your thumb. First you feel it, and then you go into the rhythm of the pulse, rhythm of the heartbeat. Get yourself fully synchronized with your heartbeat, the rhythm of your heartbeat. This is called Hridaya Upasana. Hridaya means heart, Upasana is worshipping. Now bring a conscious intention to open up your heart and heal at all levels, from all known and unknown damages. And get yourself fully healed and be ready for fifth dimensional living. Allow yourself to be healed from all thoughts, words, and actions and patterns in third dimensional reality, and move towards the unity consciousness or fifth dimensional reality. All right. Now rub your palms together and place them on your closed eyes. I shall count 10. Hold it till there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now give this energy to your face and all over your body. If you like to send this healing energy to someone, intend that person is standing in front of you and bless with both of your hands. And intend that healing is happening. If there's more than one person, then do it one after another. Now we shall chant Shanti Path for global peace and harmony and earliest recovery from this pandemic. Om Sarvesham Swastir Bhavatu Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhino सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः, सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु, मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। Om Mangalam. That completes our session today.
Guruji, thank you so much. Om Mangalam. Wonderful.
Om Mangalam.
Thank you, Rajdeep.
Thank you, Dada.
Thank you, Rajdeep.
Thank you, Guruji.